Loud, loud.
The R1 adventure in India with the 2008 model, but when the 2009 came out, it was a dramatic shift in technology and in feel. We read in all of the international media that the new motorcycle was absolutely incredible to ride. Well, Yamaha made us wait a full year, and finally 4 days before the Auto Expo this year, they launched the 2010 model in India. And now let's go find out what the buzz is all about. The R1 has always been among the best looking of the Japanese sports bikes. However, the 2009 model, which continues more or less unchanged for 2010, wasn't as beautiful as its predecessors. The high-tech projector headlamps, flanked by air intakes, looked a little gawky, and the bodywork itself looks bulkier. It's more substantial than the models that came before it, but certainly not what I'd call an improvement. But this R1 isn't famous for its beauty in any case. Its USPs are its engine and feel, both of which are considered major paradigm shifts. On average, we attend 2 to 3 new product launches every month. And every manufacturer worth their salt tells us that their product is revolutionary, that the engineering has never been done before, and that this technology is genuinely groundbreaking. When the R1 was launched in the 2009 form with the cross-plane crankshaft, Yamaha wasn't kidding. They actually meant what they said, and for once we believed them, because the cross-plane crankshaft was only ever used in Rossi's race bike before this, and in the 2009 R1, for the first time it came to street bikes. This of course is the 2010 R1, which is mechanically more or less the same as the 2009 R1. So what is it? An engine produces two kinds of torque. One is combustion torque, which is produced when you open the throttle and more combustion events happen, something you control. Some of this torque is consumed by the crankshaft, which needs to generate enough inertia to keep the engine running between power strokes. But the crankshaft doesn't ever rotate at a constant speed, and this causes the inertia source torque, which also reaches the rear wheel, to spike during each cycle. The spikes cause the torque at the rear wheel to differ from what you're expecting when you open the throttle. Yamaha tackles this by connecting the pistons to the crankshaft in a manner that ensures that the crankshaft rotates at a nearly constant speed, allowing the engine to feel smoother and the throttle response to feel breathtakingly direct, especially when you compare it to a normal 4-cylinder motorcycle engine. That's the concept. Does it actually work? In fact, it does. We've been riding down the highway, we've hit traffic and we've hit open stretches, and every time you open the throttle, you get exactly the amount of power you dialed in. It's absolutely brilliant. And which is a feat, because you have to remember this bike also has throttle by wire, which means there is no physical connection between you opening the throttle and something happening in the engine. Along with the engine, Yamaha also gave the bike a completely new frame. They used MotoGP-style soaky forks, which use one side only for compression damping. That's when you hit a bump, and the other for rebound damping, which controls how the forks return back to their normal position after the bump is absorbed. These forks allow the Yamaha excellent control over ride quality without affecting the superb handling. The Yamaha is among the most supple sports bikes I've ever ridden. The updates were designed to help the engine in keeping the rider's feel of the motorcycle at the highest possible level, which it does in exemplary fashion. Of course, this is Yamaha's flagship motorcycle, so it gets the best of the suspension they can get their hands on. And in feel, ride quality is excellent, handling is absolutely brilliant. But what is even more amazing to me personally is that this engine is refusing to heat up. In our conditions, I normally see these bikes get up to 109, 110 degrees of coolant temperature almost without asking for it. This bike has remained at 105 or less the whole time. So these chassis bits are not heating up, and that makes it such a more usable bike in daily life, because these parts are not getting hot. You can keep your feet close together in the bike, and that again enhances the feel of riding it, of being connected to it. Indian superbike buyers now have the option to pick between the R1 and its natural arch-rival, the Honda Fireblade. The price point also brings into contention the Suzuki Hayabusa, which is technically a super tourer rather than a sports bike. Of the three, the R1 is definitely the technology leader, and because of that, the most distinctive riding experience. The Hayabusa is the easiest to ride ergonomics-wise in practically every situation, but while the Fireblade is an amazing sports bike in every conceivable way, it's riding the R1 that will totally change the way you think and feel about riding a near 200 PS sports bike in India's unique chaos. So that's the 2010 R1. 12.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom, it's on sale now, and I can tell you from riding it, this is an absolutely incredible motorcycle. Everything that they've said, the cross-plane crankshaft and how it connects the throttle to the wheel is spot on. And you don't have to be Valentino Rossi to appreciate it. Even riding in traffic, this is such an incredibly tractable, easy engine to ride. This motorcycle, of course, is in stock. There are modifications. You can already see the Akrapovic exhaust, which I'd like to point out are available in India now, as is the double bubble screen, which gives you a little more wind protection, which is actually a good thing to do for our riding conditions. Overall, this is an absolutely incredible job by Yamaha.